Hi! Welcome to the Stockin' It Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 45, I believe. Yep, 45.
Excellent.
Yes, September, it is a-goin'.
Is it 45 I'm alive? Or... Oh, no, it's number 5 I'm alive. Sorry. Short circuit.
Johnny 5, I'm alive.
Johnny 5, I'm
yeah.
alive. Oh, whatever. 45 made me think of that. Is it Herbie the Love Bug?
Maybe 45. He could be 45.
Something's 45.
Alrighty. Well, we should have done some research before we got on.
Whatever.
Yeah. So what's going on with you?
Really not much. I have been knitting like a mad woman and I still don't have much to show you. And yeah.
How does a mad woman knit, really? Is it furiously? Like, very close to the needles and...
I don't know. Maybe it's like she ignores
everyone else.
And she knits.
Don't you see I'm knitting?
Yeah. Can't you see I'm busy?
Yes.
I was reading the Put Me in a Zoo book. Do you have that one?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's about what is he? I don't know. He has spots and he can put them here, he can put them there. It's very my first reader book. But there's a point where he says something about putting them in a box and making them into socks, and we flipped the page, the socks page, and Lucy put her hands on the socks. You can't look. Why? Because they're socks. Why? You knit them. Like, it was adorable. Like, okay.
If anybody out there wants to comment, feel like, what podcaster was it that was like, if you notice something, it's not so, Tommy Boy, but it's not so much here or here, but right here. I got a sunburn from, I played in a outdoor soccer tournament all weekend. So I must have gotten the sunscreen like here, but didn't quite get up into here.
Oh.
And it hurts.
I can see it. Oh, no.
Yeah. And I have a sneaking suspicion no matter the amount of aloe I put on it, it's going to peel horribly and I'm going to look like I've got dandruff. And you guys just have so much to look forward to.
Awesome.
Yes.
At least for now you can kind of comb your hair a certain way and just be like, yeah, just pay no attention.
Generally, it's just hard not to touch it. Like all day, I feel like I want to be like, because I don't know, touching it is either it hurts so good or it helps like the blood dissipate. I don't know. It feels better to touch it than to not touch it, I guess.
Okay.
Do you want to touch? Do you want to touch? So, I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm totally kicking your butt on the this or that.
Well, to be expected.
Oh, are you telling me that you gave me a layup, an alley-oop? You were like, oh, fine, you can have palm to pen. I'll give you the win.
Yeah, palm to pen is just seems like it's one that's got like a gajillion queued up and and the max
has mass appeal.
Yeah, it has mass appeal.
Yeah, I could see that. That might have been why I chose it.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to go out and look at the other colors because, you know, to me, like, the initial picture of it in the color that she chose is like Mr. Rogers. But a very cozy cardigan sweater. You know, like Mr. Rogers.
She did a really good job with the larch. I think that's how you say it, larch. That, like, golden wheat color really makes the stitches pop and it really gives it a lot of whatever. But yeah, I can't remember, is it folded? There's again, this is Amy Christoffers, but the pattern, the pictures of it don't really do it justice because the yarn kind of swallows a lot of
the details.
Yeah, and I've noticed that as well. And I know that you can't knit everything out of light colors or neutral colors or bright colors so that things pop, but
yeah,
it is kind of hard to see unless they get like a bunch of projects out there to, like you were saying, investigate, do some investigatory, as Zoolander would say. Investigatorying. What else? So that we'll draw for that next week. So if you haven't gone out and voted already.
I'm trying to attempt my best blue steel, but I can't. No. Forget what the new one was. Magnum or something?
Yes, I believe it was Magnum. You didn't forget. It is Magnum. That is a classic movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What else? The abalone KL is ongoing.
Yep.
I'll just jump my...
I'm winning!
Yeah.
For like one more day.
And you might win for quite a while, because the yarn that I chose, I was really inspired by all the people that were doing kind of bold, highly variegated.
Oh, yes.
So I'm gonna try to get to the end of this row here. So I'm fiddling. I'm gonna jump right
to.
to.
If you're just saying fiddling.
It totally is. In my heirloom bag, I've got one more skein of shelter. But I chose to do mine out of my fingering SSK colorway of KALs art.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't decided yet whether or not I want it to be kind of like a wispy, so small yarn at a big gauge, and my spreadsheet will account for whatever I gauge it up as, and then possibly have like sleeves on it, or if I want to try doing it held double. And I don't think I have quite enough if I take that route, because I believe these are 400 yard skeins, and yeah, that's just not 490. Actually, that might be spot on for holding it double for my size. Don't know, but highly variegated. This is her Sinful base in the SSK colorway. It's beautiful. It smells beautiful. I loved skeining it up. I got my winder out, and it was so nice. I wanted to wind it twice, and I did. So nice, I wanted to wind it twice.
And she did.
And I did. Because I had two skeins. See how that worked? It's not funny if you have to tell people why it's funny.
No.
And then the birthday kits. I've had quite a few people contact us and contact me, about why I hadn't sent them out, the invoices. So I haven't sent the invoices out yet because we're still trying to figure out shipping. So we've got some items that we need to put in the box, and we don't want to go over a certain amount, and it'll all work out in the end. It's just I don't want to bill you and have it be way too much, and I don't want to bill you and have it be too little and have to refunds or asking for more money or whatever. So as we figure out the shipping, please be patient. I was a little premature in my statement that we would be sending out the invoices in short order. So look for an email from me first. I'll probably send out an email that says, and that's Megan@stockingatzombies.com, saying, I'm going to be sending them out here shortly. Look for it in your inbox, so hopefully it doesn't end up in your spam. And again, that's first come, first serve. So you pay your invoice first. Yours will be one of the first to go out with the international folks. So that is all I got as far as odds and ends.
Yeah, and we're still diligently working on all of the goodies. So
test pattern, test knitting, compiling patterns and comments, and ordering things. I don't know if you guys have ever bought, over $1,000 worth of yarn, but it's kind of exciting.
I still haven't yet. It's on her bill.
Yeah, and I haven't either. Jenna's is gonna invoice me, I'm sure, here shortly. But I was like thinking about it, and I was like, how to explain this to somebody outside? It's like, have you ever written a check for over $1,000 for yarn? Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. That's a milestone. That's a life list thing. Buy $1,000 worth of yarn in one sitting. Come on. How exciting is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy's like, I'm over it. Anyway.
10 sweater kits or something. Whatever it would be.
Yep. And it's probably, I haven't done the math, but it could be well over $1,000 worth of yarn. I was just thinking $1,000, like the mark, right?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't spent $999 on yarn either, but probably in totality, my stash is well over that mark.
Yeah, don't go back into your Loopy U history, payment history.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's well over that,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yep.
I looked at mine after only 2 years in at the Loopy U,
Mhm.
and then I looked at it again at 4 years in, and um, and then I totaled it. Never do that.
Yeah.
Never. It's it's a scary amount of money, and it was all small little
Mhm.
orders. I mean, it was just accumulated over 4 years. So you just
Yeah.
like, oh wow.
I just think if you had bought like garments with that, it's part of
Exactly.
your clothing budget. Anyway, we digress. Money, yarn, we spend it.
Yeah.
Do you have any FOs?
I do.
My gal?
I have a low-cal FO. So
Woohoo.
these are my slippers. They're called the Duffers, and Duffers Revisited, Duffers Revisited. I bought the expanded pattern. The simple pattern is only a certain number of sizes, so it's an average woman's foot size. But the expanded version has smaller and larger, but not child's. That's a different pattern. So if you have I think it's up to a size 9 foot, you can get away with the $1.60 pattern. I think that's what because it's a non-US pattern. So it converted to about $1.60. And I bought the one that was like $6 because it had all the sizes all the way up to men's and all the way down to like really small women's feet. So Duffers. Again, I don't remember who made it, but it was very easy. She had it patterned out for flat or in the round. And you start down here and then work your way up to here. And it's clearly written, and it is formula kind of based. So she's done all the math in a chart in the back, and then you pull your numbers and you can write them into the pattern and then go. And she has them for narrow, wide, and extra wide feet. Yeah.
I've never felt it before.
Oh, well, there's a life goal for you.
So they were ginormous before you felt it?
They weren't terribly huge, but they were a lot bigger. And since I don't have an agitator, I had to like try at it 3 times to get them to felt down to the right size. But
what's an agitator?
It's that
Other than me.
thing in the middle of your washing machine.
Okay. And you don't have one of those?
I have an upright. I have an upright, so there's no agitator in it. So
and the agitator helps it felt? Sorry, I'm completely clueless about this.
Oh, well, yeah. When you felt things, you want them to be agitated. Okay. So you can either like put them in there with tennis shoes, or you can put them in there with tennis balls, or just towels. Something that will beat against them as you're washing. And then don't dry them. Okay. I would air dry them. So once they're the size you want them to be, you set them somewhere else. And back when I had a top loading with agitator, you could just like do a few minutes, go in, check on them. But with mine, no agitator, and I can get it up to hot water. So I just go ahead and run it all the way through, which is kind of nice because they end up being mostly dry when they're done because you don't have that sopping water because it's gone through the spin cycle. But when you have an agitator, you might go overboard going all the way through the spin cycle. It might really shrink them up. So I don't know. I haven't over shrunk her. I've more had a problem with under shrinking in the uprights. But yeah, people are welcome to give their advice. I don't do too much felting since I have moved into the new house with the new washer. So I used to do it all the time. Had lots of felted projects.
Wow.
Not much anymore. And that's my only FO.
That you can show.
Yes.
All the FOs you can show.
The other one's not quite. It's a mofo.
Okay.
But
I have a FO, which is my bipartisan socks.
oh yes.
So make sure I get them on the right feet, but I guess probably isn't all that showing. The left one, no, the right one was primarily done last time. And I finished this at the soccer tournament. People gave me a lot of weird looks. Soccer players apparently are knitters as well, and asked me about it. I also found a lady that was crocheting a pattern that looked like it was knit, and it was intarsia, like it was stranded crocheting.
Okay.
It's very interesting. So this is one sock, and here's the other one. I don't know. You probably couldn't see that on my foot, and I'm not gonna do kick line to be able to see it like Amy. But they're mirrored socks. I don't know if I can put the other sock on with my hand in it. And you can choose to knit the pattern, the same one over again if you want to. And they've got a meet in the middle heel, because it's not really an afterthought heel if you think about it, because it's not afterthought, but it's similar to afterthought heel. You're just using the live stitches that didn't get grafted together up top. So I really think it's neat, because if you tried to do this without doing the two pieces meeting in the middle, you wouldn't really know how long to do a straight shot for the meet in the middle part, right? So it is actually unique in that the patterning with the slip stitches starts up at the cuff and goes down to the middle, and it meets in the middle. So bipartisanship socks. And then I also have a WIP with that, since you said you were done.
I was gonna say, with your two sock hands, that I had run across Stiffle and Ollie again. Stiffle and Ollie. Oh god. But they're sock puppets. They did their little show. I forget if it was on MTV or some other cable channel.
It sounds familiar.
They were hilarious back in the day.
I didn't have anybody sign up to do the extra large, and my mom would shoot me if she knew I was telling 1,000 of my closest friends this, but she has an extra large foot, and I wanted to do it in self-striping, and she's coming up at the end of September, so I cast on I've got a toe here out of the Felici self-striping. Plus, there's a lot of self-striping longs going around, so I figure if I'm going to knit a sock, it might as well be self-striping. And, in the Marine Life colorway. I think it'll look nice. I can't wait until I start slipping some stitches so you can see it against the different stripes.
Cool.
Yep. And, again, this is my bipartisanship sock, hopefully going to be out and test knit by October, so that it can be out for Sock the Vote and Socktober. So
I have to pick a highly variegated sock yarn for Sock the Vote.
Yeah,
make a bipartisanship.
Yeah, and I wanted to thank everybody who offered to test knit. When I threw it out there, I knew I would hopefully get deluged with folks. And I looked at people's project pages and saw people that had knit a lot of socks and tried to get a variety of different sizes. So if you weren't able to test knit, hopefully I'll have something in the future that you can. And I also wanted to thank Yarn vs. Zombies, Kiki. She has already finished a pair. In fact, she finished her pair before me. And took wonderful, beautiful pictures of them. And has just been a fantastic test knitter. So. And she did a small size like me, so I'm hoping that we'll get some feedback on the bigger sizes, and I'm knitting the bigger sizes now. So we'll have all the bases covered.
Sounds good. So my works in progress really haven't changed much. I have the abalone, and this is Rios in that crump colorway.
Anyway, can't say it.
Crumpleicious. I don't know. And then I have that sock that has not gone anywhere. I mean, maybe 2 rows on the bus. Just hasn't been much. And then I had written down a list of my WIPs and the things that I wanted to accomplish with my WIPs, because I just felt like a few of them had been languishing too much.
Then I think you were trying to justify casting on some stuff, weren't you?
Yes, and I haven't cast on anything yet. So I have to get through the list before I can cast on all the things, because it will be multiple. All this denial, right? All this like
it's gonna end up in
I'm gonna cast on all the things. So I figured I might as well try to finish a sweater while I'm doing that. So this is my bigger knitting. Should go faster. It's the Iceland sweater. And yeah.
I think you call it big knitting, don't you?
Yes, I think that's my project name.
Yeah.
So it is cocoon, which is 50% mohair, 50% something else, wool, merino. It's very soft. And I'm full of information today. They're all in my projects page, and all the information's out there except colorway names. Probably not out there, but
you're so informational.
Yeah, lacking. But yeah, that's how far I've gotten. I actually finished a repeat.
It's a bottom up.
It's a sideways.
Oh.
So it's got these
domain sleeves?
Yeah, big sleeves.
So you have quite a bit left then, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't trying to rub it in. I was just thinking that was like the body or something.
Oh, no. That's one sleeve. And I'm kind of working on the body now. Because I finally divided for the front and back.
Got it.
So, and then I'll work the other sleeve, and then I'll have a little ribbing at the bottom to tie it all together. But that's after you sew everything, so you can kind of try it on and go, okay, how big do I want that ribbing section to be? But yeah, I got a full repeat in of the motif, and started on the repeats that are going to be across the chest. And that's exciting. So hopefully I can have a full finished object for that. I don't know. It's not going to be rolling off the needles anytime soon. I've just realized that with all this other stuff going on, and we're just so busy, that I'm like, well, I made a lot of progress on stuff. Like, I made a whole thing.
A whole thing.
Yes, they're felt
not
slippers.
A whole FO.
Yep. And yeah, and again, this didn't grow much since the last time you saw it, but it started. Yay. And then I was realizing that self-striping KAL is going on, and I'm like, oh yeah. But then I watched Diane, and I'm like, hey, I have 2 months. Yay. Like, I was so like, panic. I wanted to do that with them, but now I can't. And oh, okay, whew, I have 2 months. I can cast on in the cast on palooza, and it'll be okay.
But I actually keep like a little sheet with all of my KLs that I intend to do on them, because slowly but surely, like, reality sets in, and I'm like, I really want to do the Joji KAL with the 12 setters in 2012, because I've done every other one with them. I'm not won a prize yet, but it's kind of like a streak. You want to keep it going.
Yeah, keep it alive.
Keep it going. And then I've got this for the locale. So this is my Bedford. It progressed up to the armholes, and then it has some arms. I did a provisional cast on rather than do the arms first, and then left the underarm stitches on string. Otherwise, the way it was written, you had to seam up the underarm, which isn't a bad thing, but I kind of like that. Now I can just pick it up and start. I'll probably knit the sleeves inside out because they're reverse stockinette. So I'll just do the knitting on the wrong side, and then Got the collar band that I accidentally did in the wrong size needle, so I used the needle that was here. God, it's floppy and big. Oh wait, I was supposed to go down 3 needle sizes. So this was the yarn that I had the collar done, and then realized, hey wait, wrong. So yeah, I've got a ball, what was left of the ball that needed to be done for the collar, and then that other ball that I showed you with the abalone yarn to do sleeves. And I don't know, I mean, I've got a pretty decent start here, but they're not gonna, I don't think one ball is gonna take me clear down to here, especially as big as they are. And my husband said it looks like I'm wearing chainmail when I put it on.
No.
And I'm like, well, it is kind of big and bulky and, you know, kind of chainy. I don't know, the cables, whatever. So, but
it's just not something I would have liked to have heard if Matt said that to me.
But men don't have a V-chip that goes, well, she wants it to be pretty, so I'll say something other than chainmail. Like, you know, like, oh, that looks really cabled or something. I don't know. But yes, it will be very big and comfy, and I'll hopefully be able to throw it. If it's not going to be full sleeve, I'll be able to throw it on over a long sleeve and have it look kind of, I don't know, layered and trendy. Not that those two words, me and trendy, ever really go together, but so that's my other work in progress. And I have to say, it's been nice, not like when I went to the soccer tournament, not like lugging this thing around, to actually have another smaller project on the needles. And I forgot when I had it out, sorry, to show you guys, I had a life hack moment. My brand new Knit Picks needles were at the soccer tournament with me, and you may notice that one is shorter than the other. It got broken at the soccer tournament, so I took it into work and used the electronic fingernail pencil sharpener. There's no such thing as fingernail sharpeners. And so it's got a nice little point now. I don't know if I could like get some shellac. What do they call that when you shellac something?
Shellac.
No, decoupage is the nice French fancy term for it. Where the wood kind of has a little bit more grip because it's not the finished. But they still work. I mean, I don't use them a lot other than when I've got like this, where I've got 2 pieces that need a size 2.25, but or I guess it's a 2.5. But yeah, life hack: break your Harmony Knit Picks needle, just sharpen it in the fingernail sharpener.
I'm just imagining all the accidents that would be happening with the fingernail sharpener.
Well, that's not only the sharpening, but why would you want your fingernails to be sharp? That's the thing that I was like, why would I say fingernail sharpener? Anywho. Amy, it's okay. You got anything else to show the world? Nope. Nothing to show the world.
No, I haven't really progressed on anything else. I mean, there were a lot of things on the list.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to be testing it for
happened.
you, so I might have this done, but I don't think I'm going to have much else progressing.
Oh, just a whole sweater.
Just a whole sweater, that's all, that I've been working on for forever. You have no idea.
Well,
like,
it had to be timed out.
If I have to go back to how many times I've had this as a work in progress, it's been back since August 21st, so almost a whole month. That's a long time for me to have a sweater on the needles. Just saying, because normally I'm monogamous and not doing anything else, and one week you'll get the body done and the next week you finish up the sleeves.
Right. This is true. She's knit a lot of socks.
I have. That you have not seen. So, I have some wonderful acquisitions. I have
none.
If you have cast on itis, I've got to buy all the things itis. I'm dropping stitches, by the way. So lots of things are in the mail. Not in not even including everything I'm buying for the kid.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. I found a D-stash. Knit Psycho is having a wonderful D-stash.
I found that today.
So you'll be having some. She got mine out like immediately, so I had like almost instant gratification. And I think the only reason why this was left available was because her first picture was just of the
Ball band.
The ball band. So I clicked on it. I'm like, that's Captain Tight Pants. I must have. So it's the Into the World, the Ulundi base, Captain Tight Pants, and talk about your highly variegated. This is goes from brownish reds to oranges to yellows to greens to blues to darker blues, and it's a superwash merino. I thought that that it had bamboo in it for some reason. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. 3-ply superwash merino. So that came this week. And then also came this week, and I have to protect myself from Amy.
I love the color. I love the yarn.
This is the Sports Silky Cashmere, and so Amy felt it and was like, oh, and then I was like, did you notice that there was no merino in that sentence? It is just silky cashmere. So it's 65% white cashmere, which I don't know the difference between my cashmeres to know what white cashmere is.
It's just dyeable. It's white instead of a color.
Okay. And 35% silk. And it's 320 yards in the beach glass colorway. So this is part of the Sundera luxury yarn club.
Funny how many things are named beach glass, and I've never seen a green beach glass before. This is very green.
And I really, some of the colors that I've seen out there of theirs are very muted beach glass greens, and I really like that this has some darker pops in it. It's so wonderful. So I have 640 yards, and it's just a darn shame that I don't have just a little bit more so that I can make a garment or something out of it. Can't remember how much you need sport for a good deal, and I can't remember. I made my good deal out of 2 skeins of Madeline Tosh Pashmina. And that's $330.
Really?
A skein.
I didn't think I thought it was more than $330.
I might be able to squeak out a Pashmina or a good deal. But yeah, something similar. I could have a little cropped cardi. Crapped cardi. Crapped cardi.
There's a couple of those really cropped ones that you can probably get.
I could do like a Peggy Sue.
Yeah. But I've seen them that they're really cropped. Elena Noble has one, and she made it for a girl first and then upsized it. And I don't know. I think it looks pretty good on a girl, you know. So I don't recall the adult size very much. It's cute. But yeah, I feel really boring. I don't have anything.
We're human. I mean, I think that these are really humanizing times for us. We are not knitting superheroes, as you may have previously thought. We are very much humans that don't have a lot of throughput to show out at this point.
And again, it all has to do with this, you know, and I feel like this is like Prizapalooza season, right? Because people are having like 1,000-member drawings and birthdays, and we're just among all of that. So we've been plotting our birthday drawings, and all of that will be coming.
Yes. Exciting stuff. And I don't know when we need to talk about it offline, when we're going to like announce some of those prizes. If it's before folks receive the kits or after we know that people have received the kits. And it's just going to be fun. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I definitely like that we're keeping the surprise, because I kind of want a spoiler thread of our very own, right?
Oh, exciting.
We have a spoiler thread.
Zombie spoilers.
Yes. So I've been excited about that, and I know, it's the little things. In life,
Yeah,
really.
and I'm really excited about your pattern. I love your pattern, and I love my pattern, and I love my other pattern. And
That's one thing I did want to talk about. Megan and I, we decided on a joint new price point for our patterns. Just so much work going into these latest patterns that I don't know how we can keep them at $250.
yeah, and I think I kind of very naively went into the $250 price point, not realizing how much PayPal took and how much Ravelry took, and so our new number, $443, nets us, $443 nets us a nice round number after Ravelry takes away and PayPal takes away. So
yeah, and we feel like it's still under $5, and so still a bargain, still a deal. But what I've decided to do is that the weeb is going to go up as well. The serrated already went up in price, so the weeb will go up in price, but not until after we start our KAL. So sometime in the first week in October, I'm going to raise it. But I'll give people a chance to go out and buy it now before the KAL starts, and then once it's started, the price will go up to $443. So congrats to all the bargain hunters who got the patterns at the reduced price.
And I think that my bipartisans ship socks. I may be having a coupon code for Sock the Vote.
Okay.
And I mean, in general, people price things kind of low at the beginning, get in early, and then goes up eventually.
And it does kind of afford us a coupon code, because before it was like, I can't offer a coupon code, it'd be like nothing.
Yeah, I would actually end up paying to give you the pattern. But yeah, it kind of goes with our Walmart pricing, right? For $443. And then, I don't know, I think most patterns that, like, I looked at other sock patterns that were out there, and they were all well over $6. So I still think that it's reasonable. I mean, I still feel bad that we can't keep it at the $250. But when you're talking, multiple page patterns and charts and test knitters and
we feel like we jumped in and went, whoa, too deep, why did we do this?
Yep.
And so now we're just kind of trying to level it out,
and you may not care. I mean, I don't know. You're like, shut up already about the pattern.
Well, I just really wanted to let people know
Give
that
people
that
heads
was
up.
going to happen.
Yep, especially, I'm not having a serrated KAL, obviously, in October, so I just upped it. But I was thinking that with my sock, that we could do like a Socktober, and we would have a drawing. Yours would be for the weeb, and mine would be for my sock pattern. So lots of fun upcoming things. September is just chugging along. You guys are going to have your birthday kits before you know it. And
I feel like it's going fast.
I do too. I keep on going, I've got all this stuff that I want to get done in September, and oh my goodness, it's no longer the beginning of September anymore.
Yes, and I feel like my family has been adding activities every week, so it's like
school started. We got swim lessons, we got soccer starting for the kids.
We're doing swim lessons and gymnastics, so I'm there with you.
Life.
Lots to do.
You guys saw the neck kit done?
Yeah.
No, it just needs sleeves.
It does need sleeves.
My chainmail.
Men.
They are. They're good little commenters.
Wow, short episode.
Yeah, not that short. Almost 40 minutes.
I don't know, we had a lot of Did you restart the timer?
I think so.
Now we're just babbling.
Yep. It was good to see you all. Join us next week. Hopefully we'll have a little bit. I can't promise we'll have a little bit more, but we might have some FOs. Who knows?
I'm going to have progress. How about that?
Some progress. We're going to be showing some progress.
Real progress.
Which is the opposite of Congress.
But
I'll do the top hat. All right. Have a great week, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.